from us. And I want you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what's cracking? We are back. Today we're going to be looking at another installment of our our competitive evaluation series. Today looking at Mega-Charizard-Y. This is a Pokemon that I've wanted to do for quite a while. I really like Mega-Charizard-Y. And so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get right into it. Looking at Mega-Charizard-Y stats, Charizard-Y is ranked as an A-rank Pokemon. It does take up your Mega slot, of course. It is a Fire-Flying type, retaining the same typing as its predecessor, the regular Charizard. It has a 78 attack stat, 104 attack stat, defense is 78, special attack 159, special defense 115, and speed 100. So looking at its stats, you're definitely seeing that this is going to be an offensive Pokemon. It definitely has a good amount of bulk on the special side, and actually it can take hits there, as a lot of times it will have to. But especially on the physical side, you are going to be really pretty weak, so you're going to want to be wary of that. It has pretty great attacking stats, honestly, on both ends. 104 is like not that bad, actually, especially considering the fact that it's what it should be utilizing. Because what's most fearsome about Charizard-Y is it's probably the best special wall breaker in the OU tier. This isn't exclusively, although it's 159 special attack stat, is already crazy enough, and it's already coming off of what is a stab, fire blast, which is already or heat wave or flamethrower, whatever you want to do. But 159 stab, fire attacks are already going to be strong enough. But what really makes Charizard-Y so intimidating is its ability Drought. Drought boosting up its fire type moves by 50%, and also giving it an 100% accurate, 120 base power, reliable grass move in Solar Beam that it can spam to really remove rock and water types that would otherwise really threaten Charizard. And that makes Charizard-Y honestly just one of the greatest wall breakers Pokemon has ever seen in the OU tier. That is pretty much its exclusive role, though. If you look at weaknesses, not a whole lot. Rock, electric, water. However, these are all fairly common. The water weakness is somewhat neutralized by your Sun, which is pretty useful. The rock weakness, however, is what's going to come into effect, namely because the fire-flying type, it makes you really susceptible with that 4x stealth rock weakness. Something you're going to have to really be wary of. Other problems that Charizard-Y experiences beyond its poor physical bulk is its speed stat. 100 is like just a really middling, underwhelming speed stat, especially for an offensive Pokemon. Charizard-Y might have been better if it could hold a Choice Scarf, but for obvious reasons, it cannot hold a Choice Scarf. So, with that in mind, you're really going to find that its speed stat means it has to take hits, a hit or two, and that can be quite unfortunate for Charizard. But that said, it is just overwhelmingly powerful and will dent even resisted attacks. Will be dent, and like Fire Blast can even net 3-hit KOs on even a lot of resisted Pokemon, 2-hit KOs occasionally, and Oko a lot of even neutral hits. So it's going to be fearsomely powerful. Looking at the next set, there aren't a whole lot of sets. This is pretty much the exclusive set, and this is the Wall Breaker set. But there are some variations as far as what move to select, and that of course comes down to personal preference. I would say you have to pick Fire Blast or Flamethrower, one of those two. Overheat does not give you consistency, and Charizard-Y is not going to want to be switching in and out repetitively just because in case Stealth Rocks get on the field. So Fire Blast will be really useful. You're going to have to pick here between reliability and power, and in some cases reliability is much better to choose because reliability, like a lot of times, these moves don't necessarily have enough difference in power to justify that extra little bit. But in this case, you will find that Fire Blast will help you out to break a lot of bulkier foes, and it does net some kills that Flamethrower would not have been able to. So that's going to be something you really want to keep in mind. Looking at Solar Beam is a staple on all sets. Solar Beam will be, it gives him really great coverage of his weaknesses. Pretty much mandatory. Like, you can't not run Solar Beam on your Charizard-Y. That's the one move that has to be there. It's just reliable, powerful. Focus Blast is a really great move. I would say Focus Blast can actually be replaced with any of these two. With either of these two, along with potentially an Earthquake, if you wanted to go down that route. Earthquake allowing you to hit Heatran, but Focus Blast allowing you to hit Tyranitar. So Heatran is otherwise a Pokemon. Focus Blast won't reliably be able to hit Heatran too well, and obviously the accuracy sucks. But Tyranitar will be able to sponge that Earthquake like really well. So you know, take it with a grain of salt. Like choose what you want to do there. Roost, Air Slash, Dragon Pulse. These are all kind of like the 4th move slot. Like Air Slash is a nice secondary stab, but you might not find yourself needing it too much. Dragon Pulse allows Charizard to smack the Lati twins, who are otherwise the hard checks to Charizard-Y. Roost allowing, I would honestly opt for Roost, which is why I put it first. It's going to give you some better options as far as survivability, maybe switching into rocks repetitively. If we look at the EV spread, you're going to definitely want to do 252, 252 with special attack and speed, but the choice of timid or modest will come down to your personal preference. Obviously, timid will give you some extra speed, timid will give you some extra speed, but you'll be kind of finding that you aren't able to pack quite as much of a punch. Modest will force you to be at a pretty crappy speed tier, being outsped by a lot of like base 90 Jollies or whatever those are, timids and not Jollies, which might leave Mega-Charizard-Y in a tough situation. But again, we've already covered the weaknesses. Looking at Pokemon, this is actually a slide that I added in. Realized that I probably should have talked more about its own. This is a topic that definitely deserves its own slide, and that's going to be counters and partners. If we're looking at partners, Charizard-Y obviously really appreciates hazard support, and Pokemon that offer hazard support, Excadrill and the Lati twins, they all have great offensive synergy with Charizard-Y, and they'll be able to offer some hazard clearing. Obviously, the Lati twins using Defog and Excadrill using Rapid Spin. Weavile is a great Pokemon. Weavile, Bisharp, also to an extent Tyranitar. These are all Pokemon that are known for their ability to Pursuit Trap, and namely that comes in handy for Pursuit Trapping the Latis. And also, these Pokemon also are really useful for the ability to knock off the items off of Chansey. And as we're now about to cover, those are Pokemon that give Charizard-Y a very hard, difficult time. Lati twins being resistant to all of Charizard-Y's common moves, if not immune to Earthquake, resisting fire and grass and fighting, but you will be able to hit, unless the Charizard-Y, of course, is running Dragon Pulse, in which case they get smacked. So I would call those a check and not exactly a counter. Chansey being a true counter to Charizard-Y, really just takes every single attack Charizard-Y wants to throw with just impunity and like heals right back up. I think Focus Blast is a 3-hit KO still, and an unreliable one at that. So Talonflame is another great answer. Talonflame obviously being resistant again to every single one of Charizard-Y's common moves, and hitting it on its weaker physical side. And then Garchomp also being resistant to every single common attack, except Grass, I guess. But these are also, another thing to keep in mind is that these three Pokemon all outspeed, with full speed investment, all three of these Pokemon outspeed Charizard-Y, the most important one here being Garchomp, because Garchomp not running a full speed set probably won't outspeed a timid Charizard-Y. So that's things to keep in mind. These are all Pokemon that work really well with it. But yeah, Chansey's Eviolite actually is what makes it so much better, and so that's why these Pokemon I've specifically labeled over Tyranitar for their Pursuit Trapping, pretty much because they offer like the ability to knock off Chansey's Eviolite and really hinder its effectiveness. Alright, well guys, I hope that video was helpful. Tune back in on Saturday where I will be doing a laddering video with this Pokemon Charizard-Y. I've built a team, and I might actually share the importable this time. Depends on how I'm feeling, you know, we'll see. But, alright, I hope that was helpful, guys. Kraken Nation out.